17 minutes. And as we know, that's biblical time. As we do our due diligence, as we know, it's still TGIFF. Thank God it's Fasting Friday. No food, no fluids, no drugs. Yeah, I know I'm looking real serious. It's 11 degrees out here, so I got everything tucked. You understand? But as I start a service, I'm gonna take my hood off. But at the same time, it's 11 degrees out here. But as we do our due diligence, as you know, I come down to the water, and as it says, it's still TGIFF. Thank God it's Fasting Friday. No food, no fluids, no drugs. Once the sun go down, break that with fruits and vegetables and water as well. And as we know, as once the sun go down, it's the Shabbat as well too. So let's do our due diligence. And as you know, I'm at the water, but we had a different scene. But as we know, as as the Bible teaches, as we do all praise to the Father Yah and the Son Yeshua, and let's do our due diligence as well too. So all praise to the Father Yah and the Son Yeshua. Uh, as it come to you once again, as we started on the Shabbat, as we always come down here just to be obedient to the word and just show you that we appreciate you just giving us breath of life as well. So bless all those that who come in and praise as well too. For all those that don't who doing their due diligence as well, have to understand that as the Father gave us breath of life, and as He woke us up this morning, this is why we should always just praise and rejoice. And as we do our due diligence, always understand that the Father is the Creator, and this is why we always praise and rejoice as well too. So as we do our due diligence, Amen. Thank you, Father. So as you know, as we come down, always be into Genesis 1 and showing the Father that He's the Creator. And as Genesis 1 teaches, in the beginning, Elohim created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void and darkness, and was upon the faces of the deep. And the spirit of Elohim moved upon the faces of the water. And Elohim said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And Elohim saw the light, and it was good. And Elohim divided the lights from the darkness, and Elohim called the light day, and the darkness He called night, and the evening and the morning was the first day. As it teaches, as in first day, as we know, He's separating the light from the dark as well, but not yet when it come down to the sun and the stars and the moons. And it says in Elohim, as it teaches, it says in 5, Salakia 6, and Elohim said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And Elohim made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And Elohim called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. So as we know, as it teaches, as you see the firmament now, as you see the clouds, as you might as you see the sun through the clouds as well, and as you see that this is what the Father had created, as you see the sun as in the midst of the clouds, and as you see the firmament as well too, and that's what it teaches about. It's about the heaven as well too. Peace and blessings. As we doing our due diligence, any 12 tribes in here, so put hallelujah in the chat. Other nations, peace and blessings. For those who serving as well too, put that in the chat before it come on your channel. As Matthew 18 teaches to be brothers and sisters. And as it teaches in 9, it said Elohim said, "Oh wow, woo, Salakia," and Elohim said, "Let there hold on." Hold on, brothers. And Elohim said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together until one place, and let the dry appear." And it was so. And Elohim called the dry land earth, the beginning and the gathering together of the waters called He seas. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. And as it teaches in 12, and the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning was the third day. So as we hear on the third day, as He created, the herbs, the grass, the seeds, the things that, what we need to plant fruits and things as well. And as it teaches in 14, and Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for the signs and for the season, for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth, and it was so. And Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. And Elohim set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw it was good, and the evening and the morning was the fourth day. So as we know, in the fourth day, as you see right now, as you see the sun, and as you hear, as the Father created the sun, the stars and the moon. But as we don't, Deuteronomy 4:19 teaches, don't worship the moon or the stars or none of that. So as we know, as we look at the stars and the moons, it guides us. As it teaches as well, it says, once again, it's for signs and for the seasons, for the days and the years. And that's how we tell about what time it is. Same just like how it was the full moon. And the full moon would always let you know that's the middle of the month. You understand? And as we know, at the end of the month and on the first, we call it the new moon. And this is why you have to understand, be in tune with your Hebrew calendar and things like that as well too. As it teaches in 20, it said, Elohim said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that have life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And Elohim created great whales and every living creature that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kinds, and every winged fowl and its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the sea, and let the fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning was the fifth day. So as we hear, as he teaches, as in the fifth day, as we do our due diligence, as the Father said to like with the animals, as all the animals go out and multiply as well too, as with humans, because two male animals can't replenish, and two female animals can replenish as well. Same as two males can't replenish, and two females can replenish. And that's what the Bible teaches you as well too in Leviticus. Understand about homosexuality. You understand? And for those that you know who are, you need to correct yourself as well too, because that's abomination as the Bible teaches you. As it teaches in 24, and it says, and Elohim, Salakia, and it teaches, it says, and Elohim and Elohim said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And Elohim made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the earth after his kind. And Elohim saw it was good. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him, male and female created he them. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said to them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. So once again, as you hear in 27, as it teaches that as male and female, say replenish. And once again, two males can replenish and two females can replenish. You understand? That's homosexuality, and that's abomination in the Bible. So correct yourself once again. As the teacher says, and Elohim said, behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yield seed to you, it shall be for meat. And as we do our due diligence as for meat, you should understand that, the Father, he gave us everything, and this is what it's teaching us. And it said, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And Elohim saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very, very good. And the evening and the morning was the sixth day. So as you heard, the Father created the earth in 6 days. You understand? And as you see, as he created everything, the Father is the creator, and this is why, as we praise and rejoice right now. You understand? For those all we just call on the Son always teach all as well too in Matthew 7:21. For those who just like to call on titles, saying Lord, Lord. It says, I want to say Lord, Lord, as those that not seeking the Father's instructions as well too, and that's what Yeshua is teaching us. That besides calling on His name, you always have to call on His Father's name as well too. And John 14 would teach all as well too, as Yeshua never exalted Himself as well. So as we do our due diligence, as in Genesis 2, chapter 2, it teaches those the heavens are Salakia. Those the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day, Elohim ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day, and from all his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which Elohim created and made. And as it teaches, and for these are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, and the day that Yahweh Elohim made the earth and the heavens. So as it teaches, as the Father had created everything, and as you hear in the seventh day, the Father rested on the seventh day and He sanctified it. And before He made that as a holy day, you had to understand that it wasn't no sin in the first two chapters, chapter 1 and chapter 2. But as we know, as we get to chapter 3, that was the first sin with Adam and Eve. And this is why the Bible will teach you women as well too, that y'all are the weakest vessel as well too. You understand? So as y'all do y'all due diligence, y'all will understand how the Bible will tell you how to conduct yourself as men and women in this Bible. Everything else is abomination to the Father. As we go to Exodus 20, as it teaches as well, yes, man. It's like 11 degrees out here. It's like frostbitten. But down at the water, it's really cold at the water. But as Exodus 20 teaches the Ten Commandments, and Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh, thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And that's why we say, for those that who be serving them other gods, for those that who be calling Yeshua God, for those that okay, well, that's what you believe in. Let me get you on up out of here. But as it teaches as well, once again, as it teaches not to be praising other gods. So for those that who be calling on that picture as JC, as God, and as we know that Yeshua don't call himself God in the Bible as well. So as we do our due diligence, and for those that who call on other religion beliefs gods, Islam, Catholic, whatever that you are, you understand, praising Mary, whatever that y'all doing, you shouldn't be doing that as well. As it teaches, it said, thou shalt not make it to thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. And the same as with the sun. You want to say it? As you said what? Open up. You said, brother, you skip on what happened after the seventh day. I ain't never get to the seventh day yet. But as it teaches as well, open up your Bible, read, rest, and repent with me. And as we in Exodus 20, as I'm on verse 5, it said, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahweh thy Elohim, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generations of them that hates me. But hold on, let me see. Did I? No, Salaki, let me go back up to 4, because you had interrupt me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahweh thy Elohim, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children until the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh Elohim in vain, for the Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall thy labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh Elohim. And thy and what's that? And thou in it thou shalt not do any work, nor thy son, daughter, manservant, maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that's within thy gate. For 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the seventh day and hallowed it. So as we understand that, as you will understand when it comes down to the commandments, and as we had just read from Genesis 1 the chapter 1 to 2, as you heard in them 6 days, as the Father had created everything. And as we know in chapter 2, as to teach you as well, on the seventh day he had rested. So as we know, before, like I said in Genesis, it wasn't no law, because at that time nobody didn't sin. You understand? But as we know, Genesis 3, that was the first sin from the woman. And once again, as the Bible will teach you, as the woman is the weakest vessel as well. So as we do our due diligence, as it teaches as well in the Ten Commandments, said, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God given thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is in thy neighbor. So this is why we have to understand as we do our due diligence. And as I'm gonna close out and go to Jeremiah 31, and that's the new covenant as well. And as we know, that's in the and that's in the New Testament as well, too. So that's why we say that, everything that you read in the New Testament is majority, half of the time, is coming out of the Old Testament, as Yeshua had walked on this earth, and he was doing his due diligence, fulfilling the prophecies as it was spoke of him as well. And as we in Jeremiah 31, and as it teaches the new covenant, and it says, let me see, let me get let me get you on up out of here. You already know what they was created. They was created on the 6th and on the 8th day. You understand? And a lot of people don't understand that as well too. You have to understand, because when you understand on the 8th day, that's what he had to deal with Adam. You understand? But people always want to blend that in here with everyone in verse 127. But I'm glad that you brought that out as well too. So that let me know that you should be on your due diligence as well. But a lot of people just don't understand that. A lot of people get that confused. You understand? Because you have to understand that the Father has separated that. But a lot of people don't understand that. So as we know, as he rested on the 7th day, and as we teach you as well, but people don't see it like that. But as you see, you do, and I do as well too. So we know that he made Adam on the 8th day. So it's good that you understand that. But that 8th day is the first day of the week, because only 7 days in a week. You understand? So everything repeats itself as the Bible teach you. And the same as it would teach you as well too when it come down to serving. As you heard that we have 6 days. So the 7th day is the Sabbath. So nobody shouldn't be serving on no Sunday. Nobody shouldn't be worshiping on a Sunday. You understand? Those who worship on a Sunday, them are the ones who worship Satan. You understand? Because as the Bible just taught you, that you have 6 days to do thy work, and the 7th day is the Sabbath, and that's a Saturday. So nobody shouldn't be worshiping on Sunday, point blank. So as it teaches in a new covenant, it said, behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. And once again, as you hear, he didn't say with America. He didn't say with no Christianity. He didn't say with no Catholic. He didn't say with no Islam. He didn't say with none of that. Okay, so as you will understand this, that there's no religion beliefs at this time as well too. You understand? Everything was strictly about Hebrews, and that's the first century Christians. You understand? That's the first century Christians. You understand? It ain't about no Christianity. You understand? So as he teaches once again, it said, behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with the fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant that they break, although I was a husband unto them, says Yahweh. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. So once again, as you hear what it said, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. He didn't say with nobody else. So once again, for those in y'all religion beliefs, y'all have to understand y'all religion beliefs wasn't during this time as well. You understand? So this is why y'all have to stop always twisting up the word and understand that, read the word for word and understand everything is about Israelites, point blank. That's the main topic of the movie. You understand? If there was a movie, that would be the main topic is the Israelites, and then you have your others on here as well as the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Gentiles, and everybody else and strangers as well too. You understand? But we know the real roles of this movie is the Israelites. And as we say, as we come on, that's who we seek. It's the 12 tribes, as Yeshua had did as well too. And Matthew 1:21 would teach all as well that he came for his people's sins, not the world. And it said, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Yahweh. I will put my law in their inward part and write it in their hearts, and I will be their Elohim. And there shall be my people, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, says Yahweh. And for I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more. Hallelujah, all praise. So as we teach us once again, as I just read from the first Genesis 1, 2, Exodus 20, as well as the first commandment, as you hear as the new commandment, as the Father said as well, that he made a new commandment for those that who was at that time of that generations from their forefathers who was sinning. You understand? So now, as we know, as our generation, as the perpetual generation. So you have to understand that, for those that who comes in here, you have to understand that, religion wasn't around. This Bible is older than us. And as we know, as the Bible is older than us, we have to understand the things that we should be doing besides always twisting up the word. And the more that you keep on twisting up the word, the more that you're going to keep on having paganism with yourself as well. You understand? And as we know, as the Bible teach you, once you separate yourself from the things that that you was taught, you have to understand that y'all serve flesh. And as the Father would teach us as well too, as Genesis 6:3 would teach us that we only have 120 years on this earth. But it was a purpose why he said that as well too. You understand? And if y'all understand about Sodom and Gomorrah, you will understand why he had said what he had done and did what he had did. So as we know, as the Bible will teach us, as you will only hear the Father say that he only loved one nation in his Bible, and that's Israel. And you will hear that in Malachi, and you will hear that in Romans 9:13. That's the only time that you will hear the Father say that he loved a nation, and that's Israel. And as Romans 9:13 would teach us that he loved Jacob, and Jacob is the 12 tribes. That's Israel, as he changed his name, and as he said that he hate Esau. So we know that he don't love everyone, point blank. As we go down to Romans 9:15, it would teach you that he have compassion who have compassion, and mercy who have mercy. So there's no one should be asking why this and why is that, because he's the creator, and you just a Bible servant, or you just someone who just need to correct yourself. But once again on this channel, as we seek the 12 tribes, as the sun go down, as we know, TGIFF, thank God it's fasting Friday, no food, no fluids, drugs. That's about to end right now. And as you understand, as the Sabbath begin, still no flesh desires, to sun up to sundown. And once again, for those that we worship on Friday night to Saturday, as the Bible will teach you. You understand? And once again, as Exodus 27 will teach us, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Verse 9 teaches you have 6 days to do thy work. So today is the 6th day, as is Friday. You understand? But as we know, once the sun go down, it's the 7th day. Point blank. And once again, for you heathens that who serve it on worship on a Sunday, y'all worship Satan, just point blank, because the Father told you how to worship and who he is. Y'all just not doing y'all due diligence. So as it teaches, you say our Christians are part of the 12 tribes. Listen to this. As we know, as the Bible will teach you in Acts, you understand? If you know what Acts 2 teach you, point blank, that was the first century Jews. You understand? So if that was the first century Jews, you should answer that on your own. You should already understand that. You understand? And that's to teach you that out of Acts 2, I only came down here for the Sabbath, but at the same time, we're not going to be talking about what's going on with out of Acts, but I'm just going to bring out just a little part in Acts 2. You understand? But in Acts 2 will teach you. It says, and when the day of the Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. So answer this for me. What is the Pentecost? What is the Pentecost? We don't need to go to no Revelations right here next. Because Revelations will tell you about I'll tell you what's going on as well too, in the same as with the with the 12 tribes. But what's the Pentecost? Since you asked me this question, what is the Pentecost? Come on now, what's the Pentecost? That's right, but that's in verse 7 though. But I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, what is the Pentecost? We're not in Revelations. You want to ask me something about Christian? So I'm about to refresh your memory as might run to Acts 11 talking about the first century Christians, because we know the first century Christians were Jews. So once again, I'm asking your question: what is the Pentecost in Acts 2? You didn't ask the question. All right, so who asked me that question there? Let me see. You did ask me that question. You said, and Christians are a part of. No, 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 no. My bad, my bad, my bad. Okay, I'm with you. Let me see. Who just asked me about some Christians, and Christians are a part. Oh, okay, my bad, my bad. You said our Christians are part of the 12 tribes. Uh, you said I'm arrogant. No, I'm never arrogant. I'm not never arrogant. I don't know what you talking about. That's just how you look at me. But don't look at me like that, though. That's when you start getting effeminate. Don't turn into an effeminate man. You want to turn into a beta. Don't turn into no beta. Okay, yeah, you did ask me about our Christians in the 12 tribes. But as we say that, for those that have to understand about the 12, that's why I was bringing this out for you, for you can understand about the word Christian. The Christian is the first Jew Christians, as it teach you in 11. And that's now you don't love me, because I don't want nobody to love me. You understand? I don't want nobody to love me. You understand? I'd rather you love me as a brother, as a brother. Don't love me just out of flesh. You understand? And if you one of the 12 tribes, that's how you love your brothers. But as those that who be using that word love is in the fresh Galatians 5:22 and 23. You got to be in the fruits of the spirits with that love. And that love is mean keeping the commandments, not no love with the heart. You understand? And that's what y'all be wanting to love someone with unconditional love. No, we don't do that type of love. Love, as the Galatians 5:22 and 23 teaches, as the 9 fruits of the spirits. And all the spirits have to understand and have to deal with God. You understand? And once that if you want to love me, you need to come to me, as Matthew 18 would teach us. You understand? And that's how we correct ourselves and sharpen swords as well, too. You understand? So as we do our due diligence, you have to understand that, for those that who's in here, and if you're not correcting yourself, and as I said once again about the Pentecost, as it teaches about the first Jew Christians, as they kept the Pentecost. And that's what I was going to bring out. And as you will hear as well, 2 and 5, it said, and there were dwellings at Jerusalem, Jews, devoted men out of every nation under heaven. So as we know, as it said, Jews, that lets you know there wasn't no Christians, the Christianity, it wasn't no Catholic, it wasn't no Islam, it wasn't none of that. You understand? So it was all strictly Jews, just point blank. You understand? So as I close out and as the sun go down, as we say, for those that who are doing your due diligence, always understand, always respect the Sabbath. And as the Sabbath come in, no flesh desires. You understand? You said my point was become Jews through faith. No, he's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. See, once again, as we keep on saying that, y'all always want to blend yourself into something, but if you're not keeping the commandments and understanding the things that you are doing, you can't speak for those that who's not doing it. You might be doing it, but you have to understand that, if you know that you are doing your due diligence, only you and the Father should understand what you are doing. You understand? And if you understand that who you are, it's always good that that keep us doing your due diligence. Don't let me or nobody else tell you who you are. You understand? So as we do our due diligence, you have to understand as we come on. I already know what Romans 2:9 teaches. I just came out of that as well at 2:29. I already know about all that good about good brother. Whereas I'm saying for those that who don't know themselves, you have to understand that the world call itself religion. And if you're not calling yourself an Israelite, who are you? Just point blank. You understand? Now, see, here we go. See, but as we say, this is the Sabbath, so I don't do all this contention on the Sabbath. But once again, Islam is not up in here. You understand? I don't care what it stands for, but it's not in the Bible. You understand? And this is what y'all have to understand this. Y'all come in here with this religion beliefs, but where did you find Islam in this Bible? You will never find Islam up in here. You understand? So if you will never find Islam, you need to correct yourself. Oh, no, you good. And my name is not man. My name is not man either. You understand? But what's in the Bible, that's why, long as that the Bible convict you, that's all I'm saying to you as well, too. But I'm saying to you as well as the Bible teach us, as I come on for the 12 tribes. You understand? And this is what the Bible teaches. It says, Jew first, Greek, Gentile, and as I come on, as we do our due diligence, I seek those that who are the 12 tribes. I don't talk to other nations as well. Oh no, I don't get offended. I don't know why you think I'm getting offended. I'm never offended. I'm just cold. But at the same, no, I never get offended. Why should I get offended about God's words? Because these are God's words. The only thing that we're doing is just reading. You understand? But it's just a contention. You ask me all these questions, but at the same time, you have to understand that long as that you know who you are. And as I said to you once again, that I came up for the 12 tribes. You understand? I can't go on your channel and see who you are. But if I had my other phone, I would. You understand? But at the same time, it's not for me to judge no one. As I said, I come on as the Bible teaches, as same as Yeshua. Yeshua came on this earth. He walked on this earth for his people. And as we'll teach you in Matthew 1:21. So that's all I'm trying to say to you. You want to defend yourself with me. I'm not God. So you don't have to put no questions up to me, whoever that you are. You understand? If you're not calling yourself 12 tribes, which 12 tribe are you? Because it's 12 tribes, so which one of the tribes are you? You understand? Everything else, you put that up with the Father. Because everybody else know they tribes. So if you have to ask me what tribe that you in, that let you know that you're going to start talking on that grafted in and all this other stuff. And then, I'm just not going to be doing that with you. You understand? Because y'all take these words out of context. But y'all have to understand what Matthew 4 teach you as well, too. Matthew 4:15. Who's them two tribes right there? But y'all run past that. So y'all always be thinking about yourselves. So this is why I'm just saying to those that, if you're in the 12 tribes, you should understand who you are, do your due diligence. Other nations, as the Bible teach you, y'all get crumbs. You understand? And that's what Matthew 15 would teach y'all. As he said to the woman, he said, as he said that, he's here, he only he only came for the lost tribes of Israel. But as he said to her, y'all will get crumbs. So whatever that y'all hear come from me, that what you get is crumbs. If you know that you a Gentile or whoever else that you are. But if you know that you one of the 12 tribes, you should put that in the chat. And that's when you embrace me. But if you didn't embrace me like that, so this is why I'm talking to you like I am. You understand? So while you saying I'm getting offended, I'm never offended about nothing. Because one thing about God's words, he keeps you humble. The only ones who get offended is the ones who in their religious beliefs. And I will never get offended over God's words. You understand? So this is why you have to understand, if you're not doing your due diligence as the 12 tribes or as an Israelite or as whatever that you want to call yourself, the Father, he going to have his judgment with you, not with me. So that's why I tell everyone who comes on here, don't have no contention with me, because I'm just a Bible servant. That's it. I don't answer nothing from my heart. I come straight out the Bible. You understand? I know. You say, who are you? Well, I know who I am. But at the same time, let me close out. And like I said, on this contention, we don't do the contention on the Sabbath, as the sun is set, as the Bible will teach you how to conduct yourself as well, too, as you see the sun is going down. And you said that a man don't supposed to have no long hair. Why you say that? I don't know why you say that. Well, where they say that at? See, here y'all go. See, now you see how you trying to convict me? But see, I'm gonna show you something though. But see, that's why I say that this is what your problem is. That y'all want to convict someone, but at the same time y'all don't understand the laws. So let me show you something before I close out, because I love when y'all come here talking all that foolishness. Just like how you think that you about to get grafted. You understand? But let me show you something right quick. See, y'all don't understand about the laws. You understand? So as we say that we stand on the Bible, and as we stand on the Bible, y'all don't stand on the Bible because y'all don't understand the things that y'all should be understanding. You understand? So let me get you together right before I close on up out of here. As it teaches, it says, I'm just gonna come out to the one part so you read it all. It said, all the days of the vows of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head until the day be fulfilled, in the which he separates himself unto Yahweh. He shall be holy, and he shall let the locks of his head grow. You understand? So once again, as we say that, we stands on the Bible. All this other foolishness that y'all want to try to convict someone, look at yourselves. The same as for those that you know. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me now? All right. Yeah, somebody had called my phone, so But yeah, like I was saying though, as it was teaching us, Ezekiel, as it was teaching about Ezekiel, as you're talking about Ezekiel had locks. Even the Bible will teach you this as well too, as it says, and he put forth a form of a hand and took me by a lock of my head, and the spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heavens and brought me in the vision of Elohim. You understand? So this is why we say that, for those that, who always just want to try to convict someone, you know, besides convicting someone, just wonder who you are. You understand? Because you have your different Israelites out here. You understand? And I just know who I am. You understand? So whoever that you are as an Israelite, stand on that. The only one who's going to convict you is the Father. Flesh can't convict you. You understand? And that's why I come on that, those keep saying, I'm arrogant, I'm this, I'm that. No, I'm not. It's just that I got zero tolerance on just, on paganism. You understand? So I know I deal with paganism all day. But once, like I say to y'all as well too, if y'all don't find your religion in this Bible, who are you? Religion is not in the Bible. Christianity is not in here. Catholic is not in here. Islam is not in here. Orthodox Christian is not in here. None of that is not in here. So who are you? If you're not calling yourself 12 tribes, who are you? You understand? So do y'all due diligence as the sun just set. As the sun just went down. Man, peace and blessings. Join us tonight as well. At the same time, don't question what Paul has said. Don't question what Paul has said. It's about what the Father has said. Paul just doing his due diligence as a Pharisee. You understand? Paul is a Pharisee, so Paul is doing his due diligence just like how you should be doing your due diligence. And as Matthew 9:36 teaches, it says the harvest is plenteous, but the labors are few. Because the labors are few because nobody want to do your due diligence. You understand? So besides just worrying about what Paul and them doing, are you doing your due diligence as the Bible teach you? You're supposed to be out here. You understand? Besides over there talking with contention. If y'all here today, King Motivated on Rock, but y'all love you. God love us. Always put him first. Keep his commandments. Once the sun go down, no flesh desires to sundown as well too. Peace and blessings and shalom. Woo. Oh, you say you got my back? Oh, no, I'm good, my brother. But I appreciate that. The Father always got my back, though. You understand? The Father always got the back. That's why you go through Yeshua. And as you go through Yeshua, trust and believe everything going to be satisfied.